G'day folks, and welcome to another episode of Team Madmullet Fishing Adventures. On today's show, we're changing it up a little bit. We're actually leaving the general baits and plastics behind. We're actually going to the Jumpinpin to chase some luderick. Why luderick? Why would I want to watch a float bobbing around in the water? Well, pound for pound, they're actually really good sport fish. You know, a legal size at this stage for a luderick is 30 centimetres. If you catch a brim at 30 centimetres and a luderick at 30 centimetres, tie them tail to tail, that luderick will pull that brim backwards any day. I'll get on to a bit of the gear. First of all, you want to put a stopper on your line. Then your float. I like to use a ball sinker. I don't believe in crimping anything on my line. It's another weak spot that can fail. A small swivel, 30 to 40 centimetres of 4-pound leader, and a number 10 Team Madmullet chemically sharpened hook. Now, if we're, say for instance, we're fishing 3 metres of water, you want your float and bait, or you want your bait to be sitting in that, if this is the bottom, that first foot of the water column, in that general area. When you place your float in the water and it's drifting along, say the current's going that way, it's drifting along, the current leans over like so. That means your sinker or bait is grabbing the bottom. That's when you need to adjust your stopper. You only need to adjust it little bit by little bit by little bit until you find it's basically fine tuning your fishing. So you're obviously sliding it down your line, or if you don't think you're deep enough, you're sliding it up. I'll show you a little bit later on how to put on the weed. So we're heading to the Jumpinpin in the morning. High tide's around that 10:30 mark. We want to be on the water just on light, so we can start setting up our burley trail just after light. Alrighty guys, I'm going to get in, get a good night's sleep, and we'll see you in the morning. Well, it's just a little bit before 5 o'clock Saturday morning. I don't know whether you can hear on the roof, it is raining, so I don't know what to expect today, but I've got the boat hooked up out the front, so to go pick up my dad, and we're going down to jump in, chasing luderick. So let's get into it. Alright guys, on to my first fish of the morning. Been a very tough morning at that. These nice whippy rods come into their own when using light line. This acts as a big bungee cord. Extend that forward, please. These fish really get sideways in the current and use their flank of their body to their advantage. You on? Yep. And the old boy's on as well. Unfortunately, I can't rush this fish, so I just have to tire it out. Otherwise, I will bust the line. It's 6-pound main, 4-pound leader. So you really have to take your time. And the old boy actually got a brim. He's got a little brim on weed, which is pretty unusual. Alrighty. There he is, just out there. There we go. Nice fish. He goes 35 as well, so he's well and truly legal. As you can see, they're he is putting milk everywhere. They're in the middle of, well, just about to come into breeding season. Just like the brim. On to another fish. Like I was saying earlier on, it has been a very hard bite. It's been on and off raining all morning, but we're persisting, plugging away at the fish and slowly getting our rewards. I do apologise for any wind noise or rain, etc., but it's not the ideal filming conditions today. We have got a 25 knot wind with just showers, just not quite enough to put the jacket on. We can get out of the cover a bit from the canopy. A lot of people would say to me, why not use heavier line? Well, nothing in a bit of sport, nothing better than a bit of sport fishing. It's only 6 pound line with a 4 pound leader. This long whippy rod takes all the shock when a fish dives, so you don't break that knot, that line, etc. It's so tempting to try and put a finger on your spool, finger your line, but if you take your time, you will get your prize. Okay, these fish, these blackfish, if you put a 30 centimetre blackfish tail to tail with 30 centimetre brim, the 30 centimetre blackfish will pull the brim backwards any day. Excuse my back for a sec. One good thing about fishing on days like this is you don't get much boating traffic. So you got less noise in the water, so equals better fishing usually. I expect this fish to be around that 35-36 centimetre mark, just by the way it's fighting. Here comes the float. There's the fish just out there. It's not very big. Smidge under 35, so that's a legal fish, so we're putting him in the ice box. There's the bite.
Just on to one at the moment. I don't think it's very big. It's not fighting very hard at the moment. Just had the very slightest down with the float, and just put a bit of weight on it and came up. He's starting to fight a little bit now, but there again I can see the float, he's in close. What I do, I haven't got a drag, so I use palm of my hand under the reel like so, and then a little bit more finesse in this than having a drag set at a certain poundage. That's why I like using the side cast. There's a little bit more finesse to this. Still got a little bit of fight in him there. He just left it to the last to give me a bit of fun. Nose down in the water there, using the current to help fight me. Now this is a little male. It's just milked in the landing net. Oh, about time he went back, I think. Rightio. There he is. He's only small for this area. Just put him straight back, won't even measure him. There we go. Right, now baiting up, I just get a bit of the cabbage, about that size, break it off in close, lay it out, fold it over once, then a second time, and then in that fold, in the very middle, I get my little hook and place it through. Just like that. Then when that goes down in the water, it opens out and just floats along naturally.
On to another fish. A couple of seasons ago, Arnold from Arnold's Fiberglass brought my old man out for his very first blackfish experience. Taught him all the ropes, how to set up the float, leaders, sinkers, etc. Where to get the weed from. And he had an absolute ball, and then Dad brought me out and taught me how to fish for these beautiful fish. Very underrated here in Queensland, I think. Down New South Wales, it's quite a popular sport to target the old blackfish. The only thing I actually can't really vouch is where we get our weed from. We're basically sworn not to tell anyone. Weed is very hard to come by in Queensland and New South Wales, and when you find your little spot, little rock platform where you get your weed from, you keep it pretty hush-hush, otherwise it gets depleted pretty quickly. So that's about the only thing I actually can't give you guys some tips on, is where to locate the weed, I'm sorry. Typically these fish are around in the cooler months. So when the normal brim are in full swing, so are the luderick. Not a big fish, There we go. That fish there is 32 centimetres. He is legal, but I reckon we should catch some bigger fish, so I'll put this one back. What we're actually been doing is we've got a bit of a burley concoction. So sand with some very, very finely chopped up bits of weed. You're getting a bit of a handful, throwing it in, waiting for it to get just past the back of the boat, then putting our bait in afterwards. We're finding a lot more bites are coming out of it than we are getting bites without it, the burley, but it's a long time between bites. And I think when more fish are feeding, they want to grab every bit of morsel of weed they see a lot more, like a lot quicker. You'll love it when you're sitting here fishing and you see the wildlife get up to their usual thing, like you've got pelicans constantly feeding in the background here, which is pretty cool to watch. Yeah, that's a better fish. This one we're definitely going to keep. He's around that 35 mark, I would say. There we go. I'll put him on the line detector. Yep, he's 35, so we'll keep this fish. Alright guys, on to another fish. It feels a bit different. It's not much head shakes. Well, this is very odd. A flathead. On weed. And that's something you don't see every day. I'll put this one back. Alright guys, on to another fish. Not too long after that flathead I just got on weed. I think we maybe after this fish might call it quits. We've got quite a few good fish in the esky now. The rain's really starting to set in. It's starting to get quite chilly. Not a big fish, but a good way to end the day. Alrighty guys, till next time, cheers and good luck.